Hey guys, I'm Geoff Fienberg back with you for OddsChecker.com, here to break down my Week 5 NFL DFS selections. Waste no time like I do in the golf video. I got no rambling to do. Got lots of names to list off. Let's get right into it. Patrick Mahomes paying up for quarterback can be a questionable proposition at times. It's never an easy decision. 7,700 at DraftKings, 9,000 at FanDuel. But Mahomes, I believe, is going to absolutely rake. It seemed like in the game versus the Patriots, I mean, he didn't even run for a first down, what felt like till the fourth quarter. They were sort of plodding along in that game. I mean, the Patriots did a great job keeping it close, and the refs kind of didn't help the Patriots at all. Not that anyone should ever feel bad about the Patriots being on the wrong side of anything. But, I don't know. It seemed like the Colts really lollygagged hard versus the Raiders. I mean, they could have a great game, even lollygagging. But I expect Mahomes to do what Josh Allen did last week against a depleted Raiders defense and more. Like I said, the Raiders, horrible matchups everywhere on the football field when it comes to the Chiefs. And I almost feel bad for the Raiders that the Chiefs get to watch the Bills tape and the Josh Allen tape and be able to see how easily they were able to work the Raiders, the Bills scheming, and the Chiefs will watch that and be able to like double up on everything the Bills did, and they'll be able to do it better. The implied team total for the Chiefs is 40, so that pretty much might tell you how this game is going to go, and everything goes through right through Patrick Mahomes. I shouldn't even have to have spent the minute explaining why you like Mahomes. I'm making the decision to buy up on Mahomes. I don't need to tell anyone watching this video something about Patrick Mahomes that they don't already know. Not like you don't know Teddy Roosevelt Bridgewater, but he's going to be my buy down quarterback option this week. 5,900 on DraftKings, 7,100 on FanDuel. Bridgewater is one of the few play down options that I'm actually really attracted to this week. He has a terrific matchup against Atlanta, who's giving up the most fantasy points to quarterbacks on the year. Bridgewater, sneaky, continues to run a little bit. Last week, I believe we got 20 yards rushing, so we always have that rushing floor. He ran in that touchdown last week. He's an easy to pair with his receiving options if that's something you're interested in doing this week, and it allows you to spend up other places on your roster if deciding to go with Mr. Roosevelt. Bridgewater, Carolina versus Atlanta this week. Obviously, I probably won't be the only one continuing to pick on Atlanta as they continue to suffer more injuries in that secondary who couldn't stop anyone before things got bad from a health perspective. Running back, another buy up again. Ezekiel Elliott, 7,800 on DraftKings, 9,000 on FanDuel. The most expensive running back this week, and for a good reason. It seems like no one in the entire league is getting his workload. Last week, in addition to his carries, he got 8 targets. The Cowboys offense, despite their inability to win games, they really have no problem putting up points. And whether it be Dak or Zeke, everyone seemingly is going to be able to eat there. The rushing, he's still a focal point in the passing game. I'm going to be pretty heavy in Zeke this week. I actually really do like the Cowboys, which might be a bit of a sucker's bet. But I'm one of those suckers using the OddsChecker grid. Well, sorry. I'm a sucker. You're not a sucker when using the OddsChecker grid because it gets you the best line and the best opportunity to win and the best payout when you win, and hopefully it costs you the least amount when you win, when you get the best line, the shortest numbers. So it's, though, gotta say, it's a consensus 9.5. You could buy it down to 9. I saw some 117s out there at 9 for the Cowboys. I don't really want to be bold and lay the 10, obviously being the key number. Can't put a price on peace of mind. Using that OddsChecker grid, I've decided to bet Dallas minus 9.5 points this week against the New York Giants, who felt like the Rams were just toying around with them. Dallas has to go. There's not enough points they can score to feel comfortable. and they can give up as many as they put up at times. But I expect them in a big division match, rivalry, to really get going there. But all that matters is that I absolutely expect Zeke to have a huge game against the Giants this week. Damian Harris, 4,300 on DraftKings, 4,500 on FanDuel, fresh off the IR. Harris was the lead back for the Patriots against the Chiefs last week. This is usually a backfield you might not want to play around with because there's sometimes no rhyme or reason to what McDaniels and Belichick will scheme up, but it appears he is the clear starter right now. He is a better version of Sony Michel. He's attractive to me. Michel being on IR makes Harris even more attractive. We get some passing work done in here, which could be a focal point of the Patriots offense, who probably won't have their starting quarterback again. So back to a bit of a dink and dunk way in moving the ball downfield. If Cam is back in the lineup, I actually do expect him to be more effective, but I do believe we can hit the floor if we are working with Stidham, who I don't mind one bit anyway. The price point makes this even more attractive, especially if you've taken some of my other suggestions and some buy-up options. Damian Harris, we're getting our hands dirty in the Patriots backfield, but I think there's a real opportunity here this week for this one. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, 6,900 on DK, 8,200 on FanDuel. I can make the case Tyreek Hill is criminally underpriced this week. He's going up against the Raiders, who are missing their starting quarterback. Hill always has the big play slate potential. We sort of put the full sell on as it pertained to Mahomes, so we could piggyback this as it pertains to Hill, who against this Raiders secondary, I expect to eat. I own Hill in my season-long home league against all my best boys, and he hasn't let me down. I believe we have a touchdown in every game against the Raiders. That's certainly going to continue. Again, when Andy Reid and Bieniemy and that Chiefs offense are watching how the Brian Daboll and the Bills were able to dissect with Josh Allen this Raiders team last week, I don't believe that Bills-Raiders game was as close as even the final score indicated, as someone that watched a great deal of it. What Allen could do is almost like a light version of what Mahomes is actually capable of. So Hill will be my go-to this week. I think it's great value from a price point also for a player like that in a game that's certain to see the Chiefs flirt with that team total of high point expectancy. Darius Slayton, 4,800 on FanDuel, 4,800 on DK, 5,800 on FanDuel. As I mentioned, I like the Cowboys this week. I've used the OddsChecker grid to determine where I'm going to bet them, and that 9.5 when making that bet today is likely the best number for me to get in on. That's 9.5 points. I believe the Cowboys win big, but that leaves plenty of opportunity for Darius Slayton, who are likely going to be down in that matchup. It's good for passing volume. The Cowboys as well. What can you say about the Cowboys defense? They can't seem to stop anybody, giving up the second most points to wide receivers this year. Slayton has 56% of Giants targets and air yards combined, which is by far the highest on the team. When they are down and they will need to throw, Slayton will be the guy. The liabilities on the Cowboys defense definitely come into play. I will certainly be paranoid when I expect the Cowboys to be up 2 scores late in that game, that the Giants will backdoor the 9.5 I plan on wagering on this week. But nonetheless, I am a little paranoid about that, but hopefully the Cowboys can have that thing put away and we can cheer on those Slayton fantasy points. Tight ends, Eric Ebron, 4,000 on DraftKings, 5,100 on FanDuel. The Eagles are giving up the third most points to tight ends this season. Ebron's coming up a 7. Ebron is also coming off a 7 targets in his last game. He's one of the more athletic players at the position and seems to have a nose for the end zone. That's what continues to make him attractive. Despite his slow start this year with the with the Steelers, it seems like he's getting going there, finding a comfort zone with Big Ben. The Steelers are the favorites in this game versus the Eagles and have a team total implied of 30. Hopefully Ebron can find the end zone again this week. As we mentioned in some of the previous videos, Tight end has been a bit of a dumpster fire this week. You're spinning a roulette wheel if you decide not to do the serious buy up options. So you got to sort of deep dive it. And on that this week, it seems like Ebron at his 4,000 on DraftKings, 5,100 on FanDuel presents the best opportunities. Dan Arnold, a complete punt play at the position would be Dan Arnold. This is. There are not a lot of play down options between tight end and defense. So if you are completely dumpster diving this week, Arnold would be my guy. 4 targets a game. The Jets are absolutely terrible. Fingers crossed you can find the end zone. A lot of these situations when we have the second string quarterback come in, they don't get the first team reps. I mean, I know training camp was abbreviated, but even in training camp, the second teams were still working. In the week pre-up, the second team, gets some reps together. And you got to hope in a lot of situations that the backup quarterback has the rapport with a lot of guys we aren't too familiar with. But people close to the beat in New York seem to think Arnold could be a snazzy little dumpster fire play this week. We hope we can even build off that 4 target role he has been on. Defense, special teams. I was going to talk up the Titans this week. I actually thought they could be an advantageous situation, but I don't think that game's going to happen. So we're not even going to go there, and it doesn't even matter. And make sure you certainly aren't rostering them or keep an eye for all Bills-Titans players involved in that game. Forfeit the Titans. That's where I stand. Dolphins, 2,400 on DraftKings, 3,600 on FanDuel, guys. I really like the Dolphins this week. Using the OddsChecker grid, I've seen that I can get a +9 on this game. When I did my podcast with Pat Mayo this week, we didn't have a line on this game, and we had to make one up, and we decided at 8.5. And at 8.5, I was really tempted to make the Dolphins my super lock, and actually kind of wanted to, but because we made up the line, we felt it would be inappropriate to use that as a potential favorite play of the week. But that being said, the line that I would have taken is shorter than the actual available line of 9. The Dolphins, I expect the Dolphins to play this game quite tight, and I'm going to be wagering on the Dolphins +9 this week. It's actually, as we sit here recording, my favorite game on the NFL board. You don't even have to lay the full -110 for that 9 at Bet America. Getting a little break on the juice using that OddsChecker grid. We can find that out. But the Dolphins get pressure on 25% of their snaps and are going against the 49ers, who have the second highest sack adjusted rate in the NFL. Pressure on QBs result in all the fun stuff: sacks, turnovers, fumbles, hopefully the goodies, and the pick six. Like I always say, this is how you score with defense. It's the opportunities, it's the pressures. You can just hope for situations like that. The compete level of the Brian Flores defense, I trust here. And the 49ers really let a bad situation get the best of them on Sunday night versus the Eagles. So I am concerned of a bit of a bounce back, but I don't believe the pieces are there right now on the 49er offense. And I think this week presents a real opportunity for the Dolphins to take advantage of this, to take advantage of the lack of certainty with the 49ers, especially at the QB position. They're going to take some sacks. The 49ers are certain to be taking some sacks against the high pressure rate of the Miami Dolphins. And we're just banking on it, the $2,400 price on DraftKings and the $3,600 on FanDuel, that one of those sacks leads to some loose pigskin, and we can rumble along with it and collect those points. I'm Geoff Fienberg. This has been my week 5. Wow, the NFL season. Just motoring. Hopefully we can stay the course here, people. Keep on keeping on. I'm Geoff Fienberg for OddsChecker. Don't forget, hit that like button. Sub so these can drop right into your feed, and tell me which DFS plays you like this week. And if you don't like mine, let me know about it. I'm open. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I'll see you next week with more PGA and NFL content over at OddsChecker. I'm out.